Take us through some guiding principles.
You want to let go of the place. Even if they like your furniture, they can say, I don't like it, and you hack it.
What considerations should I have when financing my home?
Post-COVID, prices actually shot up. 7 months actually is a great time to do it.
What are some mistakes to avoid?
We are all emotional and visual creatures.
Something a bit more personal. Being a property agent, how are you coping?
Honestly,
Hi, I'm John and welcome to Mayhem Season 2! We had an awesome first season and now we are back for more questions and more love. See, life can get really spicy at times. That's why we brought in Michael, a property agent, to share with us insight into buying your first home or maybe your second home and give us some tips on what we need to look out for. So let's go! Alright, Michael, thanks for taking time to join us. There'll be 3 different levels to the conversation with increasing intensity of penalties. So if we say the words that we chose for each other, then we'll have to forfeit and eat or drink corresponding amount of mala dish at the end of each level, alright?
oh, I didn't think about this.
It's okay. No stress. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's start with the conversation. What are the different kinds of housing in Singapore that one can have for their first home?
Currently in the market now, you have your new properties,
Yep.
and then you have your resale, which you buy from the second-hand market. For your new properties that you get from the government, you have your BTOs, alright, then you have your ECs. So your BTOs are your build to order, take about 3 years to be built, and then your ECs are semi-privatized
Yep.
condominiums that also you need to serve out this 5-year minimum occupancy. So that's the new part. Of course, there's the new private condos that you can also purchase, but they are a bit more pricier. For the new property segment, there's these 3 property classes.
Yeah.
And then for the resale, of course, you can buy your resale HDB, buy your resale condo.
Yeah.
These 2 mainly lah.
Well, let's say a young couple comes to you and like, hey, we want to get our first home. What will you first ask them?
Normally, I will ask, when do you need a house by? I think that's very important because we also don't want to impose upon them. Because some of them, they say, we don't mind waiting, or we have a place to stay. We don't mind being apart for this 1-2 years while waiting for the place to be built. So if let's say a couple comes and says that they have time is on their side and they are not in a rush, then generally I would advise them to go for something like a BTO, like a build to order. Or if they have a bit more funds, consider an EC. If they say that you want to get married, we are getting married at the end of this year and we need a house by, let's say, in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
Then of course I would say that perhaps it's good to look at the resale market. Something that's a bit more fluid and it's more on demand. You pick the house that you want, you view the place and then you get it. And the best thing you can see and touch in the flesh.
We focus in a bit on the married couples. What are some available grants out there?
So for your build to order, right, you have only 1 grant, which is your enhanced housing grant. That is a max of 80K. And then your income ceiling is 9,000 for both couples.
Okay.
So of course, if you income ceiling 9K, right? Let's say you are 8K, then maybe your grant is only like maybe 10 to 12 to 15K max. Then of course, if your income is very low, on the lower end, then you get the maximum grant. So for BTO, that's only 1 grant. So when you look at the resale HDB segment, then you have 3 grants.
Yeah.
Right, you have your enhanced housing grant, which is up to 80K, still having that 9K income ceiling. And then you have your family grant. So your family grant, it depends on the unit type that you're buying.
Yep.
Let's say you're buying a 4-room, then the government currently will grant you 80K. All right, and then if you're buying a 5-room, they grant you only 50K. And then lastly, you have your proximity housing grant, which is your 20 to 30K, depending on
proximity to your parents.
4K away from your parents, that's 20K. Okay. And then if your parents are staying with you, all right, if you guys are into that, then of course that's 30K.
Is there a difference between Singaporeans and PRs?
Yes.
What's the major difference?
Grants are only given to Singaporeans. PRs, let's say if a Singaporean and a PR, they get married, right? Then of course the grants are halved.
Let's say they get the grant of 40K, then they only get 20. Is that?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Take us through some guiding principles.
Always try to plan ahead.
Yep.
Some people just rush into it, say like, we want to get a house fast. But then they don't realize what happened if, let's say, 1 or 2 years down the road, someone gets pregnant.
Yep.
All right? The wife, the husband cannot get pregnant. So
let's get it straight, guys.
So of course the wife gets pregnant and then in turn they need more space. So some people, I have met clients before, which they set out to buy a house and then suddenly they say that, hey, I want another room for my pet, or I want a games room, or they want a man cave. And then all these are some planning considerations. As a whole, I think I would recommend for first-time homeowners, try to buy as big as possible. because the size allows you to scale.
Yeah.
But of course, you buy too small, then very hard to scale. Ma.
Yeah.
So you try to generally get as big as possible within your budget. Don't go and borrow money in exorbitant amounts to go and try to fund something that you obviously cannot afford. Then that is a recipe for disaster. La.
Yeah. What about location? Would size precede location?
I think in Singapore, because we are land scarce, right? The prime locations like your central areas, Toa Payoh, Bishan, Ang Mo Kio, Serangoon, and your Queenstown, Clementi, Dover areas, all these are actually very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So of course, if you're looking for size, you get in these kind of prime locations, right? You're going to pay through your nose.
I would think so.
Yeah. So you really need to decide. As an agent, I can't say what's important for you. To me, I will always go for size.
Yeah.
Because now I'm starting a family, I recognize the value of size.
Yeah.
And like what it can do for my family, like what the affordances we have. But some people say that, hey, I want to live very close to my workplace. I work at CBD, then I want to be at Queenstown, I want to be at Paya Lebar, it's a straight train down.
Yeah.
I can't fault you guys for one thing. That really depends. I think important to have that conversation with your partner. Okay, another thing also, they want to stay close to their parents. Then there's another
factor.
Then you need to decide whose parents to stay close to. Most of the time, the lady will get it lah. The guys will generally give in for that. So win some lose some, right?
Let's say those are not married, single. What are they qualified for?
Magic number for singles is 35 currently. I know some people are trying to work to get that number down because it's quite a big gap to get there. So if you're 35, you have two options. You can of course get direct from HDB. You get a 2-room flexi.
That's a max you can go.
Max. About 36 to 42 square meters thereabouts.
A cubicle.
From understanding. Effectively is a hall and a room. It's not the largest, if I'm being honest. So that is what you can buy new. Most people that I meet as singles, right, they normally look towards the resale market. Because when the resale market, you can buy up to, like a 5-room.
Okay.
If you want to use grants lah. Some singles, they actually buy already, right? Then they rent out the rooms. So that's one consideration also. Mainly, if you can afford it, most of them, they will go towards buying resale, either a 4 or 5-room. I know clients, some of them, they got money when they really go for 5 rooms.
We've come to the end of level 1 and we will tabulate the results. I hope you have some appetite.
Alright, John, 2.
Oh wow. Oh, not bad.
Michael, 2.
Wow.
It's a draw.
Then we just draw lah, just eat one each lah.
Yeah. 意思.
Okay.
Is it always mala?
Yes. Our series is called Mala Mayhem.
Okay.
Actually quite nice.
Cheers. I think through this series, I'm going to be more tolerant.
Got to be a kick.
A bit. Okay, let's get ready for level 2. What considerations should I have when financing my home?
The elephant in the room is mainly a monthly mortgage. So I think before you buy or look to buy a property, you generally should do your home flat eligibility letter first. Oh, my tongue is numb. Home flat eligibility letter first, or you speak to a banker to get an IPA done. IPA is an in-principle approval. Basically, you check your finances and see how much you can loan. And then with that loan numbers, then you see every month I'm going to pay this much. Are we comfortable with this amount? Because generally, with young people, our CPF OA comes in about monthly input will be capped at about 1,260 thereabouts. All right, so 2 people will come in about close to 2.5. So if you want to manage with that number, some people don't want to touch cash. They just want to strictly use CPF. So that is something you need to work with. And of course, anything you buy above that, then you need to come up with cash, which will add a little bit of financial strain. When it comes to buying a house, of course, you have your down payment. All right, I think if you're not currently now for HDB loan, you need 20% down payment. All right, for a bank loan, you need 25% down payment. So this down payment is a combination of cash and CPF.
Okay.
Yeah, but majority of it can be from CPF if you have the CPF for it. You don't have the CPF for it, then you need to come out cash.
Okay.
Clients-wise, I see 2 phases. I see some which are earning enough money. Loan numbers are very strong, but they don't have enough money and savings for the down payment. The 20% or 25%. Then on the other hand, I see some people which maybe have more family support. Then they have money on hand, but then they don't hold very, very well-paying jobs. And then in terms of that, their loan is also affected. So 2 things to weigh. Must earn enough, must save enough. Most people don't save enough. Then I think when buying a house, I think reno is a big ticket.
Yep.
And it's a hidden cost. When you are buying a place, let's say for example a resale house, as you want to have to tear down quite a lot of things. You may not like the existing owner's renovation and it's
Yep.
their taste, so you need to tear down, and there's going to be quite a fair bit of cost. Post-COVID, prices actually shot up quite a bit. So
Yeah.
reno is expensive and fairly slow now, depending on when you're doing it. Like 7 month, like Chinese 7 month, actually is a great time to do.
Come on.
It's a great time to do renovation because
Nobody want to do it.
no one to do. But then of course, if you mustn't be pantang lah. If you're pantang, then okay, then you cannot do lor.
Yeah.
Another thing I would recommend first-time homeowners, don't go and do too much built-in furniture. Yeah, because that can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Next time, if you want to let go of the place, your incoming buyers, even if they like your furniture or your built-in fixtures, right?
Yeah.
They can say, I don't like it, and you hack it.
Yeah.
Then that becomes another
cost
point for them
bargain,
to run your price down. But
yeah.
if your house is empty, so as an agent, I love the marketplaces where there is little to no fixtures.
Really?
Very easy. I tell them everything in a house will go. So you get a blank canvas.
Yeah.
And it's easy to work on. You don't have to spend excessive amounts to renovate or hack the place. Because you want to hack a cupboard down, sometimes it's like 1K.
Wow.
Then you got 3 rooms, 3 cupboards, 4 rooms, 4K, 5K already. Then some people go and do those storage bed.
Yeah.
Wow, lagi jialat. Storage bed, you want to hack 1.5. So got a lot of cost. So that's one thing to take note also.
I understand. Just to break down a bit more into the loan, right? HDB loan is at 2.6%
2.6% now.
interest. The bank's prevailing one is at currently?
Currently, we are looking at about 2.85 depending on your loan quantum. If you, let's say, a smaller loan size of, let's say, 300K, then maybe they give you about 3%. Then you hit up to $500,000, the banks will probably give you about 2.9. Maybe you go maybe about 600, 700K loan, they will lower it to about 2.85 for you.
For a young couple that's trying to get a home, what's your advice for them? HDB loan or bank loan?
Currently, HDB loan is still cheaper, 2.6. Now the prevailing is 2.85. But depending on the interest rate environment, if the interest rates dip, right, then it makes more sense to go with a bank loan. But of course, bank loan, there's the volatility.
The refinancing.
The HDB loan interest has been 2.6 for the longest time. So that is like some anchor in your life. It's stable. It doesn't run too much. The bank loan is a bit, if you got a bit more adventurous, you got more appetite for risk. Then of course you go with that.
Homeowners who maybe want to buy or sell for the matter. There's the DIY way. There is I go to a property agent, like for example yourself. Then there's the fixed rate agent. So what's your take on all this?
Now, people got 3 options lah. Now, recently HDB came out with the HDB resale portal. So sellers, they can list their own properties.
Does it change the game for you?
Not really, Majority of the closings still come from listings that we see on Property Guru or 99.co. So that is one option for sellers to list their own home there. But buyers don't really go there a lot because you need to lock in, you need to do your HFE, you need to
There's a lot of process,
pre-qualify yourself before you go there. And the UI is not the smoothest and the most user-friendly. I mean, I help to list my clients' properties on here, so I'm like a little bit of extra step. Then of course you have your fixed rate agents that go for like sell your place at 2K or 1999. These agents, of course, you get what you pay for lah. From my understanding, most of them don't come for the viewings. So the owners, they sell the houses themselves. So you hardly see the guy. All right, and honestly, based on my experience, it's hard to negotiate. It's always good to negotiate on behalf of someone. As a third party. If you're negotiating for yourself, it's a little bit awkward. Like, I want this price no matter what. Then as a buyer, it's like, but I can only pay this much. Then how do we bridge the gap then? And I think these 1999 agents, they also go by volume. From my understanding, the main name of the game, they want to close the deal fast. They cannot be sitting around waiting for you to sell my house for 3 months. They want to do it in 1 viewing. 2 viewings, 3 viewings, as fast as possible. Also depends on what the seller wants. If the seller want to get a above market price, or they're okay with settling for market rate and like, below market rate, then go ahead, please. That is a cost saving there. But if they want to achieve something more and they will feel that, my house got potential, I really want to maximize it, I want to see how much I can milk. Then I guess that is where you should look to professionals who really can deliver results to the table. But of course, we charge more, but we also do more.
Sure.
We have a full array of stuff that we can do for our clients to really make the home shine.
We've come to the end of level 2, and now we will tabulate our results as well.
Michael, 3. John, 1.
Hey, not bad.
Michael word is seller. John is property.
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting the bigger bowl, right?
Yeah, you're getting
that's unfortunate, but it doesn't look half bad.
It looks quite good, right?
Yeah, it does.
Not bad.
It does.
There you go.
Thank you. Try my best.
How's your spice level? Okay, yeah.
Do y'all get this downstairs or something? One of the coffee shops. Oh, you're DIY.
We got the spiciest mala sauce.
And that is it.
Oh, serious ah? Oh, that means I can handle quite well.
This one is zong la. Wow, da la. You can feel the kick.
Now we're gonna start with level 3. What are some mistakes to avoid?
I think a lot of clients, they always want to look at those brand new MOP flats. Honestly, in my personal opinion, if you have the funds for it, okay. But if you don't have the funds for it, it's not a very good idea.
Why?
Because most of the time, there's a lot of critical mass of buyers who are looking at those flats. Demand's very high. Singapore property market, demand supply very important. If there's a lot of demand for those flats, right, very likely it's hard for you to secure a good price for it. And at the same time, the newer build-to-orders, right, they are on the smaller side. In terms of family planning, probably a little bit tricky. All right, so you end up overpaying, and then you tend to get flats that are a little bit on the smaller side that may not be the most optimum. Another grave mistake to avoid is to go for flats that are like renovated, beautifully renovated.
But that's honestly what everybody goes for, right? They see the pictures, then they're like, oh, hey, this one, no need to spend so much, you know?
We are all emotional and visual creatures. I mean, we like to see nice things, right?
Yeah.
So inclusive of houses
Yeah.
that we go for. So the seller wouldn't be so silly. They were likely, most of them, a dime a dozen, they will price the renovation into the price that they're selling.
Sure.
And because of that, you will run into this dreaded term called COV, cash over valuation.
Yeah.
For example, if the value of the house, HDB valuer comes down, values the house at 700k. Okay, but you go and transact, and as a buyer, you offer to buy the unit at 780. That 80k, right, is paid in cash. And cannot be used CPF, cannot use loan, it's just pure cash. Yeah, so rather than buying second-hand renovation, I always try to tell my clients or my friends who are looking for a house, just remember, you are buying the 4 walls.
Yep.
Nothing else.
That's so true.
When you go into the house, if the agent is good, they will stage the house, nice music, aircon. They may even spend money to buy furniture to make the house feel very homely. But then, after you buy the place, you pay a sky-high price for the place, right? And you collect keys on the day you enter, right? You'll be shocked that it's warm, it's just empty, curtains are gone, house is like glaringly bright.
Yeah.
All right? And then you find that, hey, wow, did we overpay for the house? And that is what happens to most buyers, especially those really just chiong into it without doing a lot of research.
And there's no lemon law for this, right?
No lemon law. It's an as-is condition kind of thing. You know? What you pay is what you get. Try not to get those super nice, super renovated ones. I think it's not a very wise financial decision. I'd rather you take the money, the COV money, right? The potential COV money, like 60, 70k, right? Go and do your own renovation. It's your own.
That's true.
You can call your own. It's not like secondhand, you know?
Yeah.
So try to go for those original condition one. I always try to impress upon my clients, go for that. Then you can create your own journey and your own home, like from scratch.
In being a property agent, how are you coping?
Honestly, not very good. Yeah, it's a bit tough. When I first started out, really struggled to draw the line between family time and work. Because as a realtor, it's a 24/7 thing. Like if a client messages you at like 1, 2 a.m., if you're awake and it's important enough, you answer. Then especially weekends, because Sunday we have church, right?
Yeah.
So when I first started out, I really struggled to carve out time for church and like community cell group. So that was quite tough. But now when I kind of got past the hum of like my first and second year, getting into the momentum of things, getting in gear already. My wife has been reminding me, thank God for her, she's been reminding me that if a son now, we need to set a good example.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to carve out Sunday mornings, and I find that going for the earlier service, the 8:30 one, kind of helps because clients don't wake up so early. Most of the time, if you plan properly, right, you can actually have your viewing start like maybe after lunch.
Yeah.
And with proper time management, you still can have a productive weekend where you go to church, you spend time with your family, and then you still have time to settle whatever work you have on your end to clear out your pipeline. I struggled a bit at the start.
Thanks for sharing that. So maybe for someone who's aspiring, for you it's a mid-career switch from teaching to this, what would be your advice to this person?
I think must have enough savings because this industry is quite cutthroat.
Yeah.
There are like 36,000 agents in Singapore. So it is quite saturated. All right, and I think the first 1-2 years as a new agent, you will tend to struggle because your client pool is very small. There's no fish in your pond. So you need time to add fish into the pond, build relationships, find your leads, And then also, after a while, give it time, the fish will breed lah. And then, like people recommend, they refer you to friends and everything. The company and the team and the team that you join is quite important because the learning curve is very steep. So you join a good team where our mentors have enough time to coach you, then really to keep the curve a bit more gradual lah. You learn easier.
You mentioned it's a very cutthroat thing. In every industry, there'll be some people that may not practice very ethically. How do you navigate that? And how do you choose to stay true to your values?
Yeah, I mean, it's a zero-sum game. You either close the deal or you don't. And then sometimes you get listings where there are multiple agents. So that one, you really have to struggle. But no matter what the other agents or the other clients they do on the other side, I think importantly, try your best, be responsive, and try to be service-oriented as much as possible lah. Also know that if you're doing right by the client, eventually they will realize it lah. Then of course, sometimes you also need to verbalize what you're doing for them. For them to understand that hey, this agent has my best interest at heart. And of course, if there are other agents that come in and they do very unscrupulous stuff, try not to stoop their level lah. I try my best not to do it, so I can still sleep fairly well at night. Thank God so far. I haven't gotten past anything too jarring yet.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Just to sum up, I think at the end of the day, it's not just about what you see. Don't be visually, emotionally just attracted to certain things that you see online, but to really be prudent and think about your finances, think about your future, think about family. Of course, it's not an easy line of work for him as well, seeing him going through all these things. We hope that even through this, that you will learn a bit more. And if this has helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Of course, we come to the end of level 3 and we are going to tally our results right now.
I have a good feeling about this.
John, 2.
Okay.
And Michael, 1.
Wow. Yes. Oh my.
Michael, your word is BTO. John, your word is home.
Oh wow. This is so Shirley.
Hey, I don't need a spoon lah.
Hey, you serious This one is the highest level
Very coldly one lah.
I will drink the soup.
Okay lah, come lah.
Let's go. Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Are you awake now?
Yes, I am. Wow. Okay, I can. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Or makes you suffer later in the toilet.
Wow.
I'm going to drink one more scoop because this is too much for me. Wow. Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for taking time for this. Maybe we should do another one. Talk more.
Yeah, why not?
We can go now.